again for another wander in the beautiful Northumbrian countryside, and today I'm near the village of Duddo to check out this Neolithic Bronze Age ancient standing stone circle. Absolutely amazing structure. Northumberland's answer to Stonehenge. Not far from the village of Duddo. And over there you've got the Cheviot Hills. And the village of Waller is over that way. The circle isn't complete and it's open to the west. There was an archaeological dig done in the 19th century and they found that originally there was 6 stones. The east-northeast stone was re-erected in the early 20th century. So the site was formerly known as Duddo 4 Stones, became Duddo 5 Stones. Archaeologists tend to say it was ceremonial or ritual because they don't really know why they built these monuments. Perhaps it was a calendar to mark the seasons for sowing crops. Who knows? I think that just adds to the mystical thing about it, you know. It's just a beautiful place to be with views. Maybe they built it here because they were inspired by the views of the Northumbrian hills. You know, these stones must be old because that's vertical weathering from rain. That. How many thousands of years would it took for rain to kind of make them grooves? And these stones are also called the singing stones. I don't know why. Maybe it's the sound of the wind over thousands of years have shaped them like this. Can't help imagine what it must have been like for the early people that lived here, the Neolithic and the Bronze Age people, watching the sunset over the landscape. Must have been a very mystical and spiritual experience for the early inhabitants of Northumberland, and also the ones that came later, including me. And that's the old tower house of Duddo, built in 15th century, destroyed by King James IV of Scotland in 1496. It stands on the edge of this small rocky outcrop in Duddo village, right next to the Cheviot Hills. What a beautiful place it must have been to live here like. The villagers of Duddo must be proud of it because they have it lit up at night time. Proud landmark in the village of Duddo on the edge of the Cheviot Hills. It's all ruined now, like, it's a shame. Hello, you're not missing out. Got no fires. And this has got to be one of Northumberland's best kept secrets. One of those hidden places. Looks like we've got a cave here under that rocky outcrop. Thousands of years ago, people would have made shelters like that their home. Would have slept in the rock overhangs like that, little rocky outcrops. Would have had an easy supply of water. All around here you've got rock overhangs, which were probably shelters. Absolutely amazing place this. Got a bit of a cave here, a very small cave. Might have been for a hermit or something like that. Or was it just a result of quarrying? And I think we're on the edge of the old Iron Age hill fort. They look like earthworks, don't they? Looks flat on the top. I believe there was 5 ramparts built. I think the ramparts are basically ditches because they didn't have any steep slopes. So what they must have done is build these ditches so you've got to kind of go down and up, down, up again. It's just a defensive measure. And this is one of Northumberland's other hidden places. This is actually the best time to view them, when the sun's getting a bit lower. Oh, we've got a footprint there. Isn't that weird? Unusual. You've got the cup in the middle and you've got the rings around it, hence the name cup and ring. And a lot of times you had a line which would come out, extend out from the cup and lead to something else. You've got to be so careful. You know, this is like up to 6,000 years old. And it needs to be preserved for future generations. And it's best not to walk on them. Try not to walk on them. It's a bigger one. Quite large, them ones. You can see here, that's a result of quarrying that, like. I'm buzzing me, like. Why did they carve these? What was their purpose? There's over 7,000 rock panels in the United Kingdom, but a lot of them has been lost to quarrying. Well, there's over 90 alone been lost to quarrying in Northumberland. And when you think of the ones that haven't been discovered yet, that are still under a layer of peat that was deposited from the Bronze Age, that could be double to what people already think they know about. They're everywhere. They're quite deep, them ones. And we still don't know why they were made. Some speculate they were route markers, you know, waypoints. You know, there could have been something to do with religion. You know, the relationship they had between themselves in the afterlife, the living and the dead. you know, how they saw themselves in relation to the landscape, or could just be art, you know, or a form of language. Some people have speculated that. I'm on my way to Hepburn Crags to do my wild camp, and I just stopped to admire this. It's not very often you see views like that. This must have been a gateway to the castle. Is that Chillingham Castle, or a gatehouse or something like that? But this is like an old avenue, an old drive-in. Well, it would have been on horseback in them days. I need to do a little bit of research about this because I didn't know this was here. I knew Chillingham Castle was here, but I didn't expect to see this. A little bit of history, guys. And that's Hepburn Castle, a fortified tower house. You can see there where there's been something on the end of it. You see the pitch of the roof and the eaves, or whatever they're called. And on the end there, that looks a bit earlier. That could be the tower, and this the house that was built onto it. I know it's medieval, but I'm not sure of the exact dates. Fantastic bit of history though. That's circular, so perhaps this could have been, looks like a tower, doesn't it? Circular, and it goes up, or could have been a staircase, circular staircase taking it up there. I love these old places. I love history. I love the architecture, how everyone's slightly different, you know, every ruin you come to. I'd love to find a way in. Oh, what's this? I think that was the outlet from the garderobe, which is the toilet. Or it could have been where they did the dishes and all the wastewater came out. Well, it's a waste chute. Whether it was, you know, don't want to get too technical. Well, it would be human waste, or whether it was like after they washed the dishes or whatever. Got another one here. This is like an earlier style compared to the other side. It looks older. The sandstone, it looks a bit more worn. You know, you don't get, you know, window frames that are made of wood, you get them made of sandstone. And there you got that arrow slot. Would have been a window. Well, basically what I think they would have done, they did it that shape so people couldn't crawl through, invaders. You know, they weren't necessarily shooting arrows out of it, so it's not an arrow slot, although it could have been used for that, but it's more defensive. The windows up there are obviously different because people can't climb up there unless they've got a ladder. You know, there's been different periods of construction. An old stone lintel over the window. Some earthworks over there. I wonder what that's been, whether it's been outside buildings or gardens or something like that. Have a look at that. You've got the Cheviot Hills in the background there. You know, who wouldn't want to live here? They certainly picked the right spot. They knew what they were doing when they picked this place to build a tower house. Got some square holes. Might have been where the joists were in. Looked like they were thick ones, mine. Can't emphasise them. About 9 inches square, them. And quite close together. You know, what kind of weight did it hold? Did it hold a cannon or something? You know, in case it got raided by the Scots or the Border Reivers or whoever was the enemy at the time. Well, that looks like a fireplace, that. Might have been a chimney there. It's all been pulled down now, like. And that's the other window, made of sandstone. It looks really old, quite worn as well. Looks like it's had big holes in there. I think that might have been for metal bars, you know. Is an extra kind of defence. And these there, was there some kind of, why would they need metal hinges? Unless it was a strong, you know, strong flaps they had on the window. All different styles, aren't there? Different designs. This one's had a wooden lintel across. Looks totally different to the other one we've just looked at. On here, looks like it's got holes where the bars went vertically. There again you've got hooks, probably for some kind of shutters for the window. Got a bit of a cupboard here. I mean, that could have been a toilet. Now what I'm thinking is, them two waste chutes that we saw coming around that side, that's a toilet, that's a garderobe. And the chute would have gone straight down, and there's one on the other side as well. But could that have been a kitchen perhaps? There's the chute. So this would have been a staircase coming in, I think, or the tower. I need to research this a bit more, like. And that in there is the barrel vaulted cellar, must be. Now the cellar's bigger than that, that's just a room, that. Because I've seen pictures. That's only about 6 foot wide and maybe it's about 12 foot long, a bit longer perhaps. It's just a small room that, like. Who am I going to get back doing? It would set me neck. Well, I made it in one piece. But I just wish I could get in there and have a look at that cellar. Well guys, what looks in the day, I managed to get the door open. The only problem is I haven't got a torch. Well, I have on my phone, but I don't know how good it is. Come on, let's take a look. Well, I've managed to get a better picture, like I've got low light mode on my camera. And you can kind of see the barrel-shaped vaulted cellar, the shape of it. Canny size, like it must be about at least 18 feet, 20 feet across, something like that. Got a bit of light coming in from that window. It was probably just big enough, the same with that one over there, just to give enough light to see what you're doing. And it's almost like a twilight, just enough light to be able to move around and, you know, do what you've got to do, bring your supplies in, whatever. Feel chuffed now I've been able to get in, have a look. Right, I can't hang around, it's starting to get dark now, and I've got to find a place to wild camp, and I'm going to be up there on them crags, and I want to be there before it gets dark. I might have given myself a bit of a chowing. It's getting dark and I'm not enjoying it now. Like, I took too much on. We're filming. I've even got the drone. I was going to fly it tonight off the crags, but if I fall I'm going to break. I need to take my time. Got a bit of a style here. The path is very indistinct up here, like. The car park is about 200 metres down that way, and you will not find the path unless you've got a map or a GPS. It's just basically not very well signposted. Right, which way now? It's a bit of a track going that way, up to them crags, or it goes up here. I might take the easy approach. I think I found the path, like. You just got to kind of snake your way up. Just look where, it's not a proper path. You just got to look for where people have trodden before. And you'll probably find in places like this, the paths will change through, you know, throughout the year or from season to season. People find their new ways up, new paths develop and the other ones get overgrown. Nature reclaims it, reclaims what's hers. Oh, it's a fascinating place, this, like. I just hope it doesn't get dark before I get to the top. Saying that, I'm in a bivy, like, so it's just an easy way of just laying it out, and then you've got the views. I'm only partly way up there and already got some tantalising views of the hills of eyes. Part of the Cheviot's over there. Not really sure what that is. I can't really tell at the minute. Oh, bit of a cave. No, this is a good bivvying spot. I won't lie in it just yet. If it rains I will, but that is where our ancestors would have slept, definitely. So today I've walked around, I found a few different interesting places, and I found maybe about 5 or 6 rock shelters, overhangs where people would have slept. And like I've said, there's rock art, cup and ring marks all over these fells. It's just unbelievable, the history and how far it goes back. And on top of here, there's an Iron Age hill fort as well. So I want to look at that. But at least I know I've got a cave. If it rains, I've got shelter for the night, because I'm in my bivvy and I haven't got a tarp. Look at the views, guys. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Get out and do a bit of wild camping. You know it makes sense. You know it makes sense. Definitely a nice place to come for a scramble. Gotta be careful for snakes as well. They could be hiding here like others. Or I'm making quite a bit of noise. The last thing I want is someone to crawl into me bivvy when I'm asleep. I think this spot's gonna have to do. It's already starting to get dark like. It's flat and I've got the views. I haven't got the shelter like with from the rocks, but it's not going to be a really bad rainy night or anything like that. It's not going to be windy, and like I say, there's rocks down there as a rock shelter if need be. Well guys, this is me setup. Nice, quick, easy and simple setup. Haven't sorted my gear out yet, like, to be honest with you, I'm absolutely shattered. And I'll be waking up with this, guys. This will be the views. Shame that tree, like, chopped it down in the night. Nah, just kidding. I've got places to sit. I mean, look, I mean, all these little places around here I can sit and cook and, you know, get my stove going. Don't need a chair, you know. I'm talking about Mr. Wardle. You don't need a chair when you've got rocks to sit on. Because I'm cheap, you know, very cheap. Oh dear me. Canny chairs, I cannot argue with them. I think you can buy a cheap camping chair from Go Outdoors and they'll just break after a few times you go out, and sometimes you got to pay more for quality. You know the old saying, buy shite, pay twice? It's true. Pay a bit more and get something that's quality and it'll last you a long time. So them chairs, I think they are quite nice, and I might actually get one at a later date if I haven't got any rocks to sit on. But for now, I'll just put you onto the outdoor telly, a short interlude while I get unpacked and get some food on the go and all that sort of thing, and get back to you later if I've got some crack. Morning. Well, I had a really good sleep last night because I was so tired. When I got here and I found this place to camp, it was like the first spot. Usually I scout around to find somewhere with like a bit better view and that, but I was just so tired. I'd been out all day. I gave myself a bit of a chowing because I was filming in 3 or 4 different places. I wanted to fit so much in and I wanted to do so much when I got here, but when I did get here, I just couldn't be bothered to turn the camera on and film us doing the cooking and that, which you've all seen before. I wanted to fly the drone last night, but it was just getting too dark. And I just got in my bivvy bag after I've had something to eat, and I just lay there and looked at the stars. You know, it was just brilliant. It wasn't even cold. The wind dropped, and it was just beautiful, especially to wake up the views like this. And I did me cooking over here, and like I says, I didn't film anything because I was just so tired and I didn't want to bore you with the same thing. You've seen it all before. I used me Crusader cup, you know, and buddy burners. But what I will say is, and it's something I should have realised, because I was tired, I wasn't thinking, I should have gotten a rock and put the buddy burner on top of that, because this ground, it's almost like garden compost. It's very peaty. you know, and it was just smouldering away. Long after the buddy burn had gone out, then I realised it was basically, it was it would have been an underground fire if I'd left it. So I had to pour half the water out of my camelback to put it out, and then I dug down with my hands and I felt around to make sure it was cooled and it wasn't any heat. So in summarising this place, it's well worth a visit, even if it's just for a day trip. But if you're going to do a wild camp, you know, a bivy bag is your preferred option. Although 50 metres up there you can get in, you know, it's a little grassy area where the Iron Age hill fort is. You can get there, in there with a couple of tents. So, you know, it can cater for everybody. And if the weather turns a bit, you know, a bit foul, just drop down a little bit to where the actual crags are, and you can get under a rock overhang and be sheltered from the wind. And you can explore, you know, some of these boulders that people come here and climb them and that. It's just a magical place, and it's where our ancestors lived, you know, thousands of years ago. They made their home here. They were the ultimate wild campers, like, you know, sleeping under rock overhangs, and, you know, just a fascinating place to visit if you love history and that. But I'm not going to waffle, I'm going to get away, and I'll catch you all on the next one.